Hey, we are live and it is day 26 out of 30 building and launching an AI application from scratch using Lovable. So 26 days ago I came up with an idea and I've been building it 1 hour a day for the last 26 days, as you can probably guess, and we are reaching the final week. We're going to be launching at the end of this week, so there's lots of stuff to tidy up and get ready before we push out to our first beta testers and our first customers. We've come an awfully long way. We could have been here a lot quicker if I hadn't have started to add in a lot of features. The initial plan was just to allow me to grab YouTube videos and to convert those YouTube videos into lead magnets that could be given away in exchange for an email address in order to allow YouTube creators to get emails and enter people into their marketing funnels. Very basic. That expanded. We can now generate YouTube-based lead magnets, text-based lead magnets, TikTok-based lead magnets, and Instagram. So we've added all of the main channels. As well as that, we can create landing pages that are hosted on this application as well. So we've basically become a one-stop shop for a content creator to be able to create and host lead magnets and be able to therefore generate email addresses off the back of their content. So yeah, it expanded and it got complicated, and that is entirely my fault. I was meant to scope it, but I got too excited. But here we are. So where are we? We did a bit of a kind of refresh of how it looks last week, because it looked very generic. I mean, it still looks fairly generic, but I'm not going to worry too much. The reason is I want to get some traction first, and I don't think the look and feel is going to make that much of a difference. So I want to get traction, I want to get feedback from beta users, and then if this is something that's worth going forward with, something that people actually want and they want to use, then at that point I will hire a designer to redesign the whole thing. But right now I'm happy with this. Now what I want to do today is tune up the actual lead magnets. So I've given very little custom instruction to how the lead magnets are created and what they look like. So we should do that. We should make them look better. We should make them work better. So let's go into the dashboard. We'll start with YouTube. So at the moment, I'm going to go ahead and generate a lead magnet based off, what is this? What is the Doorman Fallacy by Barry Haywood. That's a lot of views for only 5,000 subscribers. Good job. Amazing. So there we go. What is the doorman fallacy? So ideas have been generated for this YouTube video, including a checklist. Use this checklist to evaluate your organization's efficiency initiatives and ensure you're not overlooking the intangible benefits of your team's roles, a quiz and a PDF guide. A couple of things. I want to tune up this page. This is the idea page. So when you put in either TikTok, Instagram, a YouTube video or blog article, you're going to be given a list of ideas. At the moment, there's only 3. I could add many more, doesn't really matter. That would not be an issue. I can add loads and loads of different types here, but it gives you an idea of what the different lead magnets are, which you can generate off the back of it. So let's see. On this, we'll start with, what do we want to do? We want this page to kind of, yes, we need the title. So title, description is fine, key elements, that's kind of okay. The descriptions are not very exciting, but then again, if I make them too interesting, they might not be very useful, if that makes sense. Like if they become too creative, then they'll move away from being purely descriptive. So use this checklist to evaluate your organization's efficiency initiatives and ensure you're not overlooking the intangible. What I definitely do want to fix while I'm thinking is these button overlaps, because that is a problem. So let's do that while I'm thinking. Hey Lovable, on the lead magnet idea generation page, the generate these lead magnet buttons, the text overflows outside of the button. Can we check all of those buttons and make sure there's no overflow, and make sure that the buttons are responsive for different devices? I'm going to give you a screenshot to show you what I see. Thanks. And I'm going to pull in this screenshot that I just took, which is what I was looking at, and have it look at that. And then what else do I want to do? I mean, I'm kind of okay with them. They're not terrible, the descriptions. Take this quiz to assess where the organization. So the description describes what the end user is going to do. instead of what my customer, who is the content creator, will do with this lead magnet. So this could be changed to generate a quiz to allow your audience members to know whether they're organized. It adds too many layers, so I think this is kind of okay. I'm okay with this. Code for Sora 2. Okay. I just spent the whole of the last live with people asking me for Sora codes. Go on to my YouTube channel and I talk about a workaround for Sora 2 codes, as well as 3 different places where you can get them. I've given all of mine away, I'm afraid, so I can't give you mine. I'll fix the button overflow issue. So that is done. We've got a security issue, but I will deal with that. I'm not too worried about it because we're not live. Let's quickly update that, and that should, I might need to regenerate that, unfortunately. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to regenerate. Let's quickly regenerate and see whether that locked in. YouTube, yep. So I might actually leave the idea page for now. Okay, there we go. That has changed the boxes and they're responsive. That is fine, that will do. The main thing is I don't have overlap with the text falling outside of the boxes, because that looks, it looks non-professional. Now we do need to get rid of this sidebar, because we don't need that sidebar. And try another source. What does that do? Just takes me back here. I don't know if that's even useful. So let's go back in. So let's tidy those up. On the same page, oh, I see the problem. On the same lead magnets are ready page, we want to get rid of the navigation bar that hovers on the left hand side. I understand that this is still the dashboard page technically, but we want to hide that element, or make it not there ideally, on the lead magnets are ready page, because these navigation elements refer to the main dashboard, not to this page. Also, can we get rid of the try another source button below the lead magnet ideas? That doesn't really do much for me. Great, thank you. So as I say, we're mainly doing tidy up now, with little things like that. When I take it to the beta testers, they will be able to give me this kind of feedback as well, and they'll be able to say this button doesn't do anything, and they'll be much better at doing it than me. But I want to make sure at least the most egregious errors are removed. Okay, so those are very simple. I'm sure it'll be fine. So on the lead magnet, here we go. So let's go ahead and create a lead magnet. So this page is fine. Oh, where's my loading button gone? There should be a little loading icon here. I think that's been lost in the recent redesign, so we need to add that back in. And I'm not sure if the loading bar is working, or the whole thing stopped working. Oh, it's because oh no, it did work. Right, so that is a problem with the loading page. Thank you for that. On the loading page, when a lead magnet is being generated, so between the lead magnet idea page and the lead magnet preview page, the loading bar and the loading icon seem to have disappeared. I think probably during our last redesign, when we redesigned the fonts and the colors, so they're no longer visible. So can we add them back in so that the active process of generating the lead magnet is visible? Thank you. The reason I want to do this is if you just look at a page and there's nothing visibly saying loading, then you assume it's hung up. So I actually thought that it hung there, and the reason it is loading is because it's sending that information off to ChatGPT's servers, so the OpenAI servers, talking to GPT-5 and then sending the information back. So there is a genuine process going on there. Some websites fake loading processes, like a lot of travel websites, for example. When they spend all of that time searching for the best deal, they already know the best deal. It's kind of a fake loading process to make you think that they're doing more work, which is clever, extremely clever. But in this case, we are actually sending information back and forward, and we need to make sure that is obvious to the user. Otherwise, they're going to jump off or think it's broken. That is doing that. Cool. We're going to go back and we're going to once again put this in. No, I'm not, because I didn't actually update. That's a crazy mind hack, faking a loading process to make it seem like it's working harder. Yeah. So with the early travel sites in particular, it would immediately display a result and people are like, oh, they can't be good, because it came too quickly. So it didn't actually, it wasn't actually searching. It wasn't actually going off to all these different sites. So they added loading bars to make it seem more valuable, which is extremely clever, and it's become the norm. So whenever there's anything like when you're buying a car, for example, or a high ticket item, and you're on the Chevrolet dealer site and you put in the details of the car you want, and it's like, we're creating your quote. It's like, no, you're not. It knows exactly what it is. It just adds that layer of loading so that you think, oh wow, yeah, this computer's really working on it. The computer worked it out in half a millisecond. It doesn't take time for it to do that stuff. But psychologically, we as humans think, oh, the longer something takes, the better the result will be. Okay, there we go. So I've got my loading element back in. I've got my loading bar back in. That is working. I could probably have like little log messages like, oh, this is what's happening right now. It looks a bit scrappy, but it would also make it look like it's doing more work. Because the main thing is I want to show that this is creating custom lead magnets. It's not just spitting out a template, which it isn't. It is not doing that. It is actually using AI to create these. But we need to tell our customers that, and we need to show it. Otherwise, they will assume less work is being done. Okay, so that worked. That works. And I now have my lead magnet. So I can download it. Yeah. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, it's a text file. That's useless. Or I can link to it. What does that even mean? What's a share link? Well, the share link is nothing, so I don't know. So we'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of the download. So what we need now. So this is the preview. So if I'm one of my customers, I've just created this. I've got the preview. I actually need to go back to ideas, and then I can see it here. So doorman fallacy is here, and now it's got the lead magnet I've just created is here. And this is where you actually generate the landing page. You can view the lead magnet from here. But the next step is actually generating the landing page, which is this button. So the first time they see it is a preview. So what I need to do is I need to get them back to here. Or I can take them straight to generate. Sorry, Nano, I don't have any Sora codes, but I've shot a few videos. If you're on YouTube right now, if you look at my YouTube shorts, there's a handful of videos talking about how to get a Sora code. There's about 4 or 5 different methods you can try. Doorman. Okay, so we've got the checklist here. Cool. That's saved. That's locked in. It's got the thumbnail. Here, I can view the transcript. I can go and see the video. I can generate more lead magnets, yada, yada, yada. But from the preview, it's not clear to them that they need to back out to see this. So I think at the top, right, I know. Thank you, that works well. On the preview page, when we are shown the lead magnet preview, currently there are 2 buttons at the top. One button is share link. Get rid of that. That does nothing. One button is download. That allows them to download a TXT file, which is not very useful. That does nothing. So let's get rid of that as well. And then you have a back to ideas button. That's fine. In the top right, can we replace the share link and the download button? Can we replace them with a very visible, very obvious kind of next step button, which will be generate landing page? And when they click on generate landing page, take them back to the dashboard, specifically to the card for the lead magnet that they've just generated. So that is their next main step, is to go back to the dashboard, to the card specifically for the lead magnet just generated. Thank you. And this needs to work across all of our lead magnets, by the way. Thank you. No real companies use Lovable or any AI no-code tools. It's like WordPress. You do know that 40% of the websites on the internet are WordPress. So that's not a very good example, but what we can use Lovable and all of the AI no-code tools for is for proof of concepts and for minimum viability products. I was connected to a hackathon at Google, which was not this weekend, but the last weekend before. And it's a 5-day hackathon using Gemini, using the Lightspeed API, which is a travel API. And normally with a hackathon, you'd be able to put together a basic proof of concept, but because they had these new tools at their disposal, people actually had fully working products by the end. So what this allows is for us to move a lot faster if you're an engineer, or if you're not an engineer, if you're an entrepreneur, it allows you to actually start to build. And that's why I'm doing this particular stream with Lovable, is because for entrepreneurs, for people with ideas, these tools, Lovable, Bolt, Replete, V0, Base 44, etc., are fantastic, because suddenly they can get an idea that they've had in their head for the last 10 years out into reality and actually start to build it. So yeah, there might be better tools, it might be the perfect way to do it, but that doesn't matter if you don't start. And I think we need to stop gatekeeping it, and we need to allow entrepreneurs, people who want to start a business, people who want to control their own income and build something themselves, we need to allow them to use what they want. But yeah, WordPress is used by 40% of the internet, I think, websites. So that's not a very good example. Are you using Lovable for subscription, or does this use the Lovable free plan? I'm using it with a subscription because the free plan would run out in a few minutes. You can, I think you get 5 credits a day. I currently have 1,000 credits left over. But I do this as a business. So for me, $200 a month for Lovable it's not very much. You can also use the $25 a month. I think that gets you 100 credits. Or if cost is a big issue, you can use other tools and you can link directly to the ChatGPT API. That's a way to decrease your cost. It's a little more technical, but it's certainly doable. Apo says, I got the code finally. Awesome. I'm glad you got us all a code. Go and have fun with that. Okay, it's changed our preview page, so let's go and have a look at what that looks like. So we'll use the same. Should I use one of Nate's? No. If you're not following Nate, make sure you do. He's wonderful. I've just noticed it has been taken away my credits, which is good. So checklist, so I'm going to create the lead magnet. Cool, my loader is there. I've got the little loading bar. Awesome. I don't know if this actually means anything, if it's actually correct. Yeah, I don't think it is. It just kind of loads and then it stops at the end. Yeah, that's fine. So there we go. So it gives me the checklist. That looks fine. And then at the top, I have the generate landing page button. This is the next step. So I'll click on this and it did not go to where I wanted it to. So where I want it to go to is quite specific. I want it to go to here and here. So that did not work. Let's have a look. So what it's done is it prominently a generate landing page button that takes users back to the dashboard, which is not quite what I asked for. Okay, thanks for the cleanup and thanks for adding the button. The button does not go to the right location. I don't want it to go back to the general dashboard. I want it to go specifically into the dashboard, into the video, connected to the video that we've just generated from, and specifically the lead magnet that we've just generated. I want it to go specifically to that entry. so that they can easily see the view lead magnet and the generate landing page button. So we need some more complex navigation there to take them to the right place. So it kind of did what I want, but not fully. So we'll just go ahead and go again. And hopefully that will fix it. Oh, hey Maggie, how are you doing? I like your stuff on TikTok. What VPN do I use? Because I want to use Sora AI, but I'm in the UK. It doesn't really matter, as long as the VPN can get to the US or Canada, which is pretty much all of them. I use NordVPN personally, but there are some free ones. There's some like free Chrome VPNs. Oh, you can use Opera. But yeah, here we go. This is one I've heard is decent. It's called VPN. I've heard that this works. I've never tried it myself, so I can't vouch for it. But this should be enough to get you into America, so you can use your Sora invite code. And to do that, you need to go to sora.chatgpt.app/explore. That's going to be the place to put it in. So now, because I'm not using my VPN, oh yeah. Enter invite code. Why am I logged out? Yeah, you'll see something like this at the sora.chatgpt.com/explore. You enter your code here. Oh, I'm logging into a different account. That's why. I'll update the navigation because yesterday I was testing out all of these methods to get into Sora. Trying to help people with that. Okay, right, so it's had to add an ID to the lead magnet cards. So when the lead magnet's created, it will create an ID. So this card, this is called a card here, it will have a unique ID, and then when we click the go back, when we click the generate landing page button, that button will connect to the ID of the card that's just been created and send us there. Theoretically, we're going to give it a go. And that will give us that functionality. And then what else do we need to do? I want to tidy up this generate page. I don't know why it's so skinny, so we need to fix the responsiveness here. I'd love to get a preview, because this is fine. This allows you to kind of customize what you want to be on the landing page, but a preview would be really nice. I don't have any way to back out of Sora to log in, so the back in out method you need to do on the app, not on the website. Perfect. We'll navigate to the dashboard. Right, let's give it a shot. So what we're doing, getting this, grabbing this, getting this. Actually, I should use a different video just because this one already has lead magnets and I don't want that to get in the way of this testing. So let's try it with a new video, because there might be a conflict between the old ones that don't have IDs and the new one that does have an ID. So I just want to remove potential conflicts so we can do a clean test. Otherwise I'll be then trying to fix the wrong thing. Create this lead magnet. Doop. So we'll create this. Notice that one uses more credits because it's a longer video. So we have to transcribe more. I need to make that more obvious. That's a messaging thing. Why are we hung? Are we hung? So I don't know if we've hung or it's just taking longer because it is a longer video. The video is 17 minutes. We're good. So there we go. It's created the checklist. Oh, it's a video about N8N. in a few hours, about 6 hours from now, OpenAI are launching or announcing Agent Builder, which is their version of NA10, which so I'm sure everyone's panicking at NA10 right now. So generate landing page did not work. That's interesting. The generate landing page took me all the way back to the home page, which is useless. Clicking generate landing page on the generated or on the preview of the lead magnet takes me all the way back to the home page, not even into the dashboard and not to the specific card as above. So I'm just going to relay the error and see if it can sort it out. If this takes too long, then there are alternatives, but I'd like to, this is probably the nicest way to do it. The Sora app, yes, it is the Sora app. The Sora app itself is only available in the US and Canada, unless you change your iPhone's region. There are lots of fake Sora apps, so look for the one made by OpenAI. I don't know how that happens. Like, I don't know why it's not policed better. Okay, it says it's fixed it, but we never believe the AI. We check. I just did on the newscast just now, just talked about a Deloitte report. So Deloitte did a report for the government of Australia, and it was full of hallucinated AI errors, it seems, because they did not check their work. And this was a report that cost nearly $500,000 Australian dollars, and that now they're having to refund some of that money, which is why we check our work when we use AI. Okay, so that is created. I shouldn't use this one because it's a longer video and it takes a longer time to generate. And I'm wondering if I can make this look even more interactive. So not interactive, like there's more happening, because otherwise, when somebody's sitting waiting for 20-30 seconds, they assume something's gone wrong. In reality, it's just because information is being sent back and forward, and it does take a bit of time. Homepage is a fallback if the link is not real. Yep, i.e. the ID it's being given, the lead magnet isn't saving properly or being passed through to that button. Very likely. We've just created the ID system as well. So up until a few minutes ago, the cards didn't have IDs at all. Boom, there we go. That worked. Thank you, Lovable. And thank you, Ed. Ed, I'm not sure if you've seen any of the other ones recently, but it is expanded from, you were the one who suggested text, and I was like, oh, that's a good idea. And then I was like, oh, I know, I'll just add TikTok, and I'll add Instagram, and I blame you, Ed. It expanded. But now we can generate from pretty much anything, which is awesome. Also, we worked out YouTube, so we can grab from any YouTube video. So here we go. So this unlimited AI video ads on autopilot, my NA10 and Sora workflow. Awesome. Got the transcript. You can view the transcript here. Oh, that's why it's taking a long time. That's quite a long transcript. Watch video, etc. And then, boom, it's created the ultimate workflow setup checklist. And then I can generate a landing page from there. So this landing page, the landing page generator page is, well, one, it's a very weird responsiveness. It's tiny. Two, I'd love to add a preview to this. So see how it's already filled it with some placeholders generated using AI during the last process. I'd love to have a little preview of what that looks like. So let's try to put that in place. Okay, Lovable, that worked. Thank you. I would like to now work on the generate landing page. First of all, for some reason, the content is highly constrained. It looks like you've tried to make it... Oh. No, you know what? It's because I'm... So I've got my page really squeezed up because I'm trying to fit it onto TikTok. So I've got it at a really weird size. So maybe this is not an issue. That beta feedback is an issue though. That's going to be annoying. Very annoying. Okay, I'm not worried about that. So let's stop telling. Sorry. The reason there's something called responsiveness in web design. So basically, depending on the size of the screen, the content will flex. Lots of people are going to be on mobile phones, and some people will be on desktops. The reason this looks really weird now with lots of white space here and here is because I'm not really in either. I've squeezed up my window, but I've squeezed up my window specifically for the live stream. So it's not ideal, but it's also not a huge problem. So I'm not going to worry about that too much. Okay, Lovable. Let's now move to the generate landing page. I would love to add a preview on this page that shows them a preview of what the page looks like before they go ahead and create it. And I think it should sit between the current two elements. So the first element is creating landing page 4, and it has the what that is. Can you actually get rid of the creating landing page 4 text or the header at the top? That doesn't mean anything. Instead, just start with the name of the lead magnet. So that'll be the first element. Then the second element should be a preview, just a small one, the same width as the other elements. And then the third element will be the landing page configuration. And I'd like the preview to use what's the information within the landing page configuration. Landing page configuration should be auto-populated the first time it's created. So the preview image should have those elements in it. But ideally, if we regenerate or if we edit, the image should update. Let's discuss that. If the updating is too complex, don't worry. I'd just like to get a first draft preview. But let's discuss. I'm putting you in chat mode. So I don't want this to become a huge ordeal with needing a dynamic preview. I want them to be able to see what it roughly looks like and then click generate. Ed says, I've watched them all. At least the tool is useful for a lot more users now. Yes, it is. Yeah, so this is what I struggled with initially, and also why the scope expanded. The official Google API allows you to officially go and get transcripts from YouTube using their API. Great, fantastic. However, you can only do it by the user has to log in using a Gmail account, a Google account. Okay, that's kind of fine, but then they can only get transcripts from their own videos. So that's fine if you're a content creator and you have a YouTube channel. Okay, that's whatever. But it really limits the usage. Whereas now we can get it from any YouTube video. So I can grab from someone else's YouTube video the transcript and then create lead magnets off the back of them. That opens up a few possibilities. Obviously, these are lead magnets that I could then use in my own business and kind of tweak them for my audience and make it so it's not quite so much about the video, but also I can then go to those other creators. So maybe I don't even have a channel. I can go to those creators and say, hey, do you want me to make you 30 lead magnets per month, one for each of your videos that you put out daily, and I will charge you $2,000 a month. Yeah, they will want that. So it opens up a lot more possibilities. Okay, so 1, static preview, simpler. Create a scaled down static preview component that mirrors the public, the layout, shows subheadlines, so everything on the landing page, uses form directly. No, we don't need, form data directly. Not pixel perfect, that's fine. I don't need an exact replication. Yep, that's fine. Yes, please. Let's go with option A. That is fine. Does not need to be pixel perfect. Thanks. Now, I do want them to be able to change the fonts and not the font, the kind of colors and the designs as well. Should I do that first before adding the public preview? I probably should, because then we have all of the content and the formatting information in. Let's go ahead and make a preview, then we can adjust if we need to, because I haven't added the ability to format that page yet. This is also why we should have a plan for all of these steps, instead of doing what I'm doing right now, which is kind of going through and fixing bits up. Ideally, I would first go through and look at all the things that need to be changed, all the things that need to be fixed, and then basically shove them into a big Trello board or something similar and work out the order, the dependencies, what's most important. Instead, I'm doing what kind of works a bit better for the stream, is just working through, looking at stuff and being like, I should fix that, I should fix that. It's not the best practice here at all, but you watching me for an hour just go through and write stuff down, it's also a bit boring, so unfortunately it's always a bit of a trade-off when I'm doing this like this publicly. Like right now I have a security error that I need to fix. The sensible thing to do would be to fix that security error, but again, that's not very interesting for people who want to learn how to vibe code. So don't do my my poor habits. Okay, so that has created a version which updates as you type. There we go. So this is like a preview of the what it looks like. That's great. I don't like the scrolly thing. I don't know why we need that, but otherwise that's kind of cool. So let's try this. This is a better headline. Back up. Okay, that works. Look at that. Sorry, I shouldn't be so surprised, but there we go. So anything I add here, I love this app. Let's see if it does that. No, but I don't think I've actually sorted out the social proofs. Limited, get you free access 6 day. Okay, so that is previewing something. It seems to only be previewing up to here, strangely. Discover valuable insights and actionable strategies. Okay, so it's ignoring this stuff down here, but I'm wondering if I've even added that into the... Let's create the landing page and compare. Oh yeah, I love this app. Okay, so that's my fault because I haven't finalized the actual functionality of this landing page generator. So that's on me. So what we need to do, let's get a shorter video. Let's get the Mr. Beast video. It's a great video, by the way. It's from 10 years ago with Mr. Beast kind of, I think he's sending a message to himself in the future. But he's come a long way in 10 years. It's a good example of what happens when you just commit to something and you do it consistently for a long time. Google have the worst APIs ever. Yeah. Google APIs are a bit of a mess. I know everyone I know who, as soon as they have to add OAuth or any kind of Google authentication, it's like, oh, why? So let's check the generate landing page to see if that works. Boom, that goes to the card. Hi, me in 10 years. Let's go to here. So a few things. Now that I can see this, let's begin talking to it. Okay, the preview looks good. Can we make it so it does not need to scroll? Just because having that kind of, I don't know if it's an iframe, but having this, the scroll just makes it a bit messy on the page, and especially on mobile, you might end up scrolling the preview rather than scrolling the page, etc. So could you just fully render the whole length into the space so that there never needs to be a scroll? Second thing I've noticed, and this, no, we'll do that for now. I was about to try and fix the landing page generator itself at the same time, but first we'll nail this little preview, then we'll fix that generator. anyone got a code? For the people asking for codes, I've shot a couple of videos. They're on YouTube. There's about 4 or 5 different ways to get a code right now. I assume you mean Sora. I'm assuming Sora because I have thousands of people commenting on my TikTok video asking for a Sora code. Go and check out my YouTube videos. If you're in the US, there's a workaround, which means you do not need a code. You can get into it anyway. Otherwise, I've given 3 different places where you can get codes, including the OpenAI Discord server, the official one. They have a channel where you can get codes, and also Reddit, and also Twitter, especially using Twitter Pro, are all good ways to get one. So check my YouTube shorts in particular, and hopefully one of those methods will work for you. And if you're outside of the US or Canada, then you will need to use a VPN. The one we just showed on stream was called VPN, VEEPN. Apparently it works. That's free. That will allow you to VPN into America and enter a code. But you need to do that on a desktop, not on the mobile version. It's all a bit complicated. But I've been trying to help people for the last few days getting into it. Right, so let's see if we can generate. Okay. Right, so that has got rid of the scroll. I do have this weird white space, but I wonder if that's... okay, that might be connected to all of this stuff. The practical checklist. So now we need to tidy up the actual generator, because this stuff is not actually being used. So let's just simplify it. Oops, just killed my lovable. I'll simplify it for now. Okay, cool. Let's simplify the landing page generator, please. I want it to only have a headline, a subheadline, and the key benefits. Remove the social proof field, the hero section description, and the urgency scarcity text. Obviously leaving the page URL slug because we need that for functionality, but this will allow us to simplify the page that we're generating. So the only ones we're going to keep are the headline, subheadline, and key benefits. Remove the others, leave the URL page slug. So remove them both from the generate landing page, create landing page step, but also remove them from the landing page template themselves, so that when we create landing pages there aren't any blank spaces. Thank you. So we're just going to simplify. We don't need all of that. And then I'll go back and fix this preview so that this white box, which I think is being created by these additional elements, disappears. Yep. Okie dokie. And then where are we? More people asking for Sora codes. Hey Marcin, you're on Twitter. I didn't realize you were using Twitter. You were so pleased with that preview. Isn't it brilliant when it works? Yeah, I shouldn't be surprised, but sometimes the vibe coding tools just work, which is always very pleasant. Because generally what happens is the first time you prompt them, it will work and it looks great. And then you start to dig into it and you start to deal with details, and it gets more complex and it gets harder. So now I'm at that stage where it's optimizing. It's tweaking little things like, oh, I need you to go to this part of the page. When I click on this, we need anchor IDs, like that, just kind of detailed stuff. It goes wrong a lot more. So when something just works first time, it's like, oh, cool. It's that lovely feeling of that first prompt in a vibe coding tool. Okay, let's see. I didn't know you used Twitter or X, Marcin. Good to see you. Okay, we're going to ignore the security error because I'm being lazy, and I'll fix it off stream. I also know what it is. It's a debug. So I'm having it kind of print my email address so I can check whether the right account is being used. So it's part of the debugging. So don't worry about that if you see that and it freaks you out. Okay, so that has now removed those elements. So we now just have headline, subheadline, the key benefits, and the URL slug. So we've still got this kind of ugly blank box. So what I'm going to do, zoom out a little bit and actually take a screenshot so I can show lovable what I see. And then I'm going to entirely fail to copy it for some reason. Where is it? Weird. It did not appear on my desktop. There we go. Thanks, Lovable. Next thing is in the preview that you've created, there's a weird white space at the bottom. I don't know why, it's a blank space. Can we get rid of it so that it cuts off below the what you'll get inside and remove that white space? Thank you. Should be simple. Kind of depends what's in that white space. There might actually be something generated here that I just can't see or is not rendering for some reason, in which case this would be a bit more complicated, but hopefully it would just finish up there and then the preview works. Oh, hey, Simon Squibb. So I'll remove the white space by making the preview container fit its content properly. So let's go ahead and refresh that. Oh, can't just refresh that because I need to push that. Simon, you're not on your live, or are you on your live? You're putting in the work. Ludi, how will I get a code? If you want a code for Sora, go and check out my YouTube. I go through a number of different ways to get it, about 4 or 5 different methods, and that has made this messy. That's interesting. So by trying to remove this white space at the bottom, what has instead happened is it's kind of, I'm not sure what's happened. It's now falling outside of that box. So I'm going to try to just get Lovable to fix it without me having to think about it too much, but we may need to get smarter. Sorry about all of this screen manipulation. I need to get some more monitors really. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to talk to Lovable again and say, hey Lovable, that did not work. It did not remove the white space and it actually misaligned all of the content and shoved it off to the right. So can you please have another look at that? We need the content to render and to be within a bounding box around the content without any additional white space, just so that we get a preview. Again, it does not need to be pixel perfect, but it does need to change as they update the form. Okay, bro, I tried every method, but nothing works. You tried the ones on... Which methods did you try? With the Discord in particular, so the OpenAI Discord, it's just luck. You need to spend time on there. But there are new codes published there every minute, I would say. And then you just need to be the fastest person, entering them really, really quickly, quicker than the other 100 people waiting. But if you get it at a slightly quieter time and somebody happens to post, then you'll get in. It's just frustrating. Okay, I'll fix the alignment and white space issue. How are we for time? Got 10 more minutes. So we've tidied up a few things. I'm happy with the progress. We haven't hit any bumps or lumps. This is what a lot of building stuff is like, unfortunately. There's the fun, joyful part at the beginning when your idea becomes reality, but then you spend a lot of time fiddling around with this kind of stuff. That is not vibe coding's fault. That is just how you build anything. It's when you start to get into the details, whether you're building software, whether you're building a business, whether you're building anything worthwhile, it's the messy middle stuff that is hard. It's having to deal with this kind of thing, like this slightly annoying alignment. And this might take me as long as it takes me to add TikTok, for example, as a source. But this is just kind of part of the process. It's the messy middle stuff that matters, and how good you are at dealing with it. Okay, so we've realigned it, but we still have this bottom. So better, not worse, but not good. Oops, daisy. Okay, that realigned the horizontal alignment, so I can see all of the content. That's good. However, there's still a white space at the bottom of the preview. I'm wondering if there is some content there which is not visible and is causing the bounding box to stretch to that area, to stretch far down, which looks to me like a white empty space. Can you check what comes below the 3 benefits, and if there are other elements that are meant to be there that are just not rendering, and if so, can we remove them so that we can get rid of that white box? This is not make or break, so if this doesn't work, it's okay. Hey Andrew, how are you? I'm assuming America must be waking up. Oh, 8 a.m. Ludi, if you tell me what you've tried, I can tell you if there's any other methods for getting a Sora code. Good morning, Andrew. I just had Marcin in here as well. I'll check the preview structure and remove any lower spacing. If this doesn't work, I'm going to stick it on my list and move on, because this is not a big problem and I don't want to waste time on it. Okay, I think that actually made it smaller, but it's still there. Right, that's not going to keep me awake at night, and I'm sure during the beta feedback somebody will say there's a big white box there, so we'll loop back to that and I'll make a note of it here. What's this? The preview landing page. Landing page generator has white space, so I'll deal with that later. And let's actually go ahead and generate the landing page. So it creates that dashboard here. Again, this is squeezed up because I've squeezed it up for the stream, so don't worry too much. There we go. So that creates, got the headline up here, the basic description, the form, which allows you to capture the email address, and then what you get inside, which can be edited. So there's no white space here. And this is 2024 rights reserved. This page was created to deliver valuable content to help you succeed. Where's that coming from? At the bottom of each landing page, I'm going to use dynamic. We'll probably want a way for them to put in their business name. Oh no, we've already got their business name because they enter it. Use current year and their business name from business profile settings, and remove the this page was created nonsense. Okay, so it's just a tidying up thing. Andrew, yes sir, just getting the day started over here. If you don't follow Andrew, make sure you do. Andrew Ships. You're starting up the day by watching TikTok, Andrew. It's me. It's fine. I'll let you off. I'm terrible too. First thing in the morning, I'm checking like analytics and statistics of channels. Oh, I just hit 150,000 followers on TikTok, which has taken a long time, but fine. So I went to 120,000 quite quickly, well, within 6 months or so, and then had another jump to about 145,000. But the 5,000 from 145,000 to 150,000 has taken maybe 3 months. It's just been a slow grind, but I did it finally today. Thank you, Sora, too. Oh, hey, Josh. Josh was on the stream too. Hey, Joshua. Marcin was just watching from Twitter, and I've got Andrew here. Andrew Ships over on TikTok. Everyone's here. How you doing, Joshua? It's funny watching America wake up. Okay, and we're going to go ahead, update that, and this is probably going to be my last push. Let's see if that works. And then we're going to finish up the stream, because again, my commitment is only to work 1 hour per day on this. Believe me, I would like to just lock in and work on this for 20 hours, but that is not very helpful. That preview, oh, there we go, it updated, and it updated previous landing pages. That's really cool. So it's got copyright, and then that 2025 is dynamic, so that will update. So the user does not need to continue to come in and check it every time. Probably using Python. Let's have a look, so I'm kind of interested. That doesn't look very dynamic to me. Okay, I'm not going to worry too much about that. And then it has pulled the name of the company, so AI with Kyle, which comes from the business profile. So that's just better than the generic. I forget what it had some nonsense at the bottom there. That's been removed, and now it will insert the name of the company based on who is using it. Do you have code for Sora 2? No, I don't. Sorry, I've given them all away. Check out my YouTube, and there's a number of different ways to find it. I've done a few videos. I'm guessing you're in Vietnam. Full technique. So for you, you'll probably need to VPN to the US and then use a code. Check out the OpenAI Discord. It's probably the best place to get codes right now. Right, so that worked. Everything worked. That was a very productive push, a very productive hour. Yeah, very inefficient but entertaining. Correct. The way of doing it only 1 hour a day and live streaming it is slowing me down a lot more. I could have done this. This could have been launched a few weeks ago, but what I want to show is that in just an hour a day, anybody can work with a tool like Lovable, Bolt, Replete, whatever it is, and they can start to build something. They can take an idea and they can turn it into a reality. And I'm limiting myself to an hour a day because I think that's a realistic time for most people to be able to carve out their schedule. If you just watch a bit less Netflix, and instead you play around with these tools, instead you could build something that can generate money. Good money. So that has been the idea. Also, it's unhealthy for me to just lock in and do this for 12 hours a day. There is a guy on YouTube actually who's doing that. Let me see if I can find him. It's like vibe coding until $1 million, I think is the name of it. There we go. Bridge Mind. Let me pull him up. I mean, huge kudos, but wow. So this was yesterday. He just recorded his work session. I don't think he's necessarily talking to chat. But day 42. Let's see. Oh, he's using Google Auth. We were just talking about how terrible Google APIs and Google Auth is. He's having trouble with that now. You can see he's got his kind of board set up here. So he's been vibe coding for 42 days, and he's at $700 revenue, and he's going to keep going until he hits $1 million, which is a really, really, really cool experiment. So make sure you go and follow him. His name is Bridge Mind.
Alright, I found the error, and I'm fixing it right now.
Awesome, thank you guys. I'm going to finish the stream. Exactly 1 hour. You can find all of the past
Alright, cool. Alright, so I gotta redeploy the...
I'm totally blanking out. A playlist. My God. There's a playlist over there so you can follow through, have a look at what's been going on. I think for next time I do this, so starting next week, I'm going to do something a bit different. I think instead of doing one big project over 30 days, I'm going to do little projects every single day. So one little project, trying something out that's new, obviously not taking it all the way to production, but being able to mess around with something. Like one day maybe we try out the Google Maps API and we build something that allows us to map or to pin on maps, and this will also allow me to try out different tools or to show them on stream. So we'll do some stuff with Bolt, some stuff with Cursor, some stuff with Claude Code, etc. Just giving a bit more variety, because this stream is fine, but you either have to be in for the long haul and kind of follow through, which is fine if you're working on something in the background, or otherwise it is watching me kind of fix bugs as you have been today, and increase the kind of polishing the edges rather than creating something new. So I'm going to change the format next month, see how it goes. This is all experimental, so we'll work out what works best, what's most entertaining and useful at the same time, and that's always going to be a balance. Josh says, what's your number one song when listening to vibe coding? Well, that's the other problem. When I'm live streaming, I can't listen to music. Or maybe I could in my ear. I don't know. I'd probably get distracted. No, because I've got the tool in front of me, so I'm vibe coding here. I have TikTok. Josh, you can't see it, but I've got another camera here, which is TikTok. Then I have a camera over here, which is YouTube and Twitter. So it's already sensory overload. And people asking questions from different places as well. I think music, I would just... my brain will melt through my ears. Why do you want that, Josh? Cool, awesome. I'm going to finish up. Yes, everything is in the playlist over on the main YouTube channel. Do go and subscribe on YouTube. We are slowly grinding our way up. We're at 6,644 subscribers. We're getting there. We should be at 10,000 in a couple of weeks. We're adding a couple of hundred subscribers a day, so that would be really awesome if you go and subscribe over there. I also do a news stream every single day, so I do that normally around 10 a.m. London time, where I go through the latest news and updates and what's happening in the world of AI. So you can find all the videos for that over on YouTube as well as join on the live stream either on YouTube or on TikTok. Great, have a lovely day everybody, and I will see you tomorrow.